Hello, middle school and high school friends. How are you doing? How's everything going? Just wanted to start with a little music this morning. Kind of stretch out, move around. I'm going to stretch my neck, roll my neck around, shoulders. Yes. Miss Pledger's just going to take a minute, relax, get us in this remote learning room, and be happy for just some short time. I hope you guys had a great week over the last week. It is now week 7 in our remote learning time together. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. And we're just going to start off after our neck rolls and our shoulder rolls with some breathing to get us into the remote learning room. And we're going to start with deep breath in, out, in, out. One more time, in and out. This week in our competencies of self-management, we are going to be talking about goal setting. And I know at your age, goal setting is like one thing that everybody's talking about. Well, what's your goal? What do you want to accomplish? How do you want to do it? How are you going to do it? So you have all these questions coming your way. And so today we're going to talk about goals and how to set the goals. And I'm going to teach you an acronym called SMART. And SMART is a way that you can remember kind of how to set those goals. So before we get started with talking about our SMART goals, I want to do a check-in. And here I'm going to bring it back our scale. Excuse me. 1 to 10. And so I want you to really look and focus in on where you might be on this scale, with number 1 being the best. I'm feeling great today. No, nothing's going on, till 10. You know, I'm really not in a very good mood and some things happen and I really need to check myself. So I'll go first, and I'm going to say that right now and today I'm at a 1. As you can tell, I started off with the Because I'm Happy song. That song always kind of makes me feel, keeps me up and energized, and you can dance to it and kind of just go a little crazy if you want to. Another way to get rid of some of those stressful moments and stressful, that's what I use a lot of, is music. So I am happy. So just take a couple seconds and talk to somebody around you and let them know how you are feeling today. I want to thank you for taking a couple minutes to share your feelings and thoughts. So as I said before, we're on our self-management unit. And all of this is about things about you controlling and being able to think about the outcome of what it is that you're doing. And we're going to talk about goals today. So we're going to talk about SMART goals. And so here's just a quick little paper. It has set SMART goals. And SMART, the S means specific, the M is measurable, A is attainable, R is relevant, and T is time bound. So basically, we're gonna talk about how and which each one of these items mean, and then later on how we can go about creating these SMART goals. So I'm gonna start first with sharing a quick video that's gonna help us.
Setting goals for yourself is one of the most important things that you as a student can do. When you look at set goals on a day-to-day basis, rather than looking at all of your tasks at once, you are more likely to stay motivated and focused. The first thing we are going to take a look at is proper goal setting. When it comes to goal setting, there are two types of goals you can set for yourself: long-term and short-term goals. Long-term goals are important because it allows you to set an objective that you want to work towards. It is easy to lose motivation if you do not set any long-term goals for yourself. If you don't care about what you learn in your courses, then you most likely won't care about what your final marks may be. You have to ask yourself questions like, what do I want to accomplish? And how will I do this? Short-term goals are steps that help you answer the first questions you asked yourself. By setting daily and weekly goals, you can work your way in small doses in order to come closer to your long-term goal. Without short-term goals, it can be easy to get overwhelmed by your long-term ambitions, creating unwanted stress. Grouping your work so that you think of it in smaller bits makes it easier to approach than the whole project at once. When working towards any of your goals, there will come a time when sacrifices will have to be made. Sometimes, short-term sacrifices are needed in order to carry out your long-term goals. You have to plan ahead in order to know what sacrifices will have to be made in the future. This avoids any unpleasant surprises. It is important to know that when setting goals for yourself, there are never any failures. Whether or not you've completed your goal, there is always something you can learn from the experience. Don't be discouraged if you don't complete a goal that you set for yourself. Just step back and think about what went wrong and how you can avoid doing the same thing next time. The next thing we are going to learn about is setting SMART goals for yourself. Specific goals have clearly defined targets. If your goals are not specific, you will have no idea when you have achieved them. Know what you want to improve on and focus on it. For example, a non-specific goal would be, I want to be in better shape, whereas a specific goal would be, I want to be able to run 5 kilometers by March. Measurable goals have concrete criteria that you can use to measure your progress. They have a defined beginning and end. An example of a non-measurable goal would be, I want to do well in English, whereas a measurable goal would be, I want to get at least a B in English. The next type of goal is an attainable goal. In order to have an attainable goal, you need to consider what is possible for you to complete in the time frame that you have available. For example, a non-attainable goal would be, I want to run the 100-meter sprint in 8 seconds. An attainable goal would be, I want to run the 100-meter sprint in 15 seconds. This section of your goal checklist is your very own personal and realistic goal. For a realistic goal, you will need to consider how much free time you have, how long each activity takes, and your personal abilities. An example of a non-realistic goal would be, I want to get A's in all of my courses, join 3 new clubs, play on an intramural sports team, and join the master orchestra. A more realistic goal would be, I want to get A's in all of my courses and join 1 new club. Know what you want to focus your energy on. Remember that there are only 24 hours in a day. The last goal type is a timely goal. Timely goals set deadlines that you need to meet in order to accomplish your goal. Setting smaller deadlines for the individual parts of an assignment can keep you organized and save you from a last-minute rush. An example of a non-timely goal would be, I want to study for my biology exam, whereas a timely goal would be, I will study for my biology exam on February 27th, 28th, and 29th. Know that setting a deadline for the project will give you a finish line to focus on, which can help you stay focused and deliver positive results. Using the SMART framework can help you create personalized and achievable goals. Effective goal setting can set you up to succeed, boosting your confidence and increasing your drive to set bigger and better goals.
So that is all about SMART goals. Ms. Pleasure first wants to apologize. Her allergies are definitely like in rapid gear here lately, so apologize for the coughs. But let's get back to those SMART goals. So remember, SMART is being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, or realistic, excuse me, or time-bound. So specific, that means not just being random and, oh, I want to run track. Okay, you got to be specific. I'm going to join the track team this school year. Okay, Measurable. Like, how am I going to know that I am doing what I need to do? So, did I join the track team? What was I committed to what I was going to do? Attainable. Is it something that you can reach, that is within your reach? Okay. Um, Meaning you want to be a singer, but you kind of know that you don't have the best voice to become a rock star or a superstar. That's something I'm really gonna do. So is it attainable right now? And if so, thinking about those things that you know that are within your control to do. Realistic again. Realistically, is it something I'm going to be able to accomplish? You want to know that. And time. Give yourself a limit. So I know that come July or November, I want to be able to say that I went and took some singing lessons and I've gotten 5 singing lessons in, or by December, I want to have saved $200. Okay. That's what they mean by time bound, like placing a time on it so that you have it in your mind, playing back and forth into your mind. So as seventh graders, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th graders, you guys are probably at that age where you're trying to figure out like what are my goals? Like, they've changed so much, and that's great. And that's why we're kind of talking about this, how to set these very specific SMART goals. Okay. So I want you to work on creating a list of your SMART goals. So remember, you're going to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So think about that. So if you are saying, if you're like a freshman and you're saying that when you become a 10th grader per se, you want to take the SATs in the fall of 2000 or whatever. Okay. So that's your goal, to get that first one out of the way. How are you going to measure that? How are you going to make it attainable? Like, what steps do you need to do? Is it realistic to do it that fall? And making sure that you stick to that time. Or it could be as simple as I really want to, on this, remember there's long term and short term goals. So my short term goal is for this science test that's coming up this week. I really want to make sure that I at least get a B on it. So what do I need to do to get this B? Okay, think about your SMART goals. Think about what that looks like for you. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, realistic, and what's the time on that, okay? And then I want you to, after you have created your SMART goals, then I want you to take some time in each day, create a My Daily Reflection Journal. So on Monday, like, what did I do? What were the challenges in creating my goal that day? Or what challenges or obstacles, or what actually happened well that day that I know that I'm getting closer to my goal. And as you can see on here, I like this. It says, I'm a goal getter. A goal getter, meaning I am chasing my goals, chasing my dreams. And it's very important that when you have a goal that you actually write these things down, because when you write it down, then it becomes part of the atmosphere and you can look at it and say, oh yeah, this is what I said that I wanted to do. So I want you to spend some time really, really thinking about those SMART goals. It could be 1, it could be 2. I wouldn't just like put a bunch of them down and say, oh, here are my 10 goals, because now you have too much. It's attainable. Remember, we're trying to make these goals attainable. So what are those things that you really want to commit to working towards and creating that plan to do so? SMART goals. This is all about self-management. This is all about your self-control, how you are going to work towards making yourself a more how should I say, stress-free, able to self-regulate yourself, and setting these goals help to do those things. It helps to give you a vision. It helps to allow you not to be so stressed out about something because you have something down on paper. So that is my challenge to you for the week coming up. Work on your SMART goals. I want to take a minute and I want you to just come back into the space as we close out in our remote learning room. Kind of put your back up against your chair, drop your hands, put your hands on your knees, kind of relax your shoulders. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes and just take a minute, breathe in, out, in, out. One more time, breathe in and out. When you're ready, come back into remote learning room. Again, I wish you well. I hope for the best week ever. And even if it's not, remember you always have tomorrow. See you next week. And take some time to relax.